It's a beautiful day in downtown Vancouver, but with this beauty also comes some concern. We've already had an extremely hot and dry May, and that has led to wildfires starting in British Columbia earlier than average. Very worrisome. Typically, June brings a little bit of relief, some cooler temperatures, some rain in the forecast. The meteorologists like to call it January, but that isn't expected this year. So Johanna Wagstaffe, meteorologist, is live with us right now to talk about why that's not expected and what lies ahead. Joe, the Donny Creek wildfire burning right now in BC, and in terms of hectares, it's larger than anything we saw combined last year in terms of wildfires. So thinking about that and how bad it already is, what can we expect for the summer ahead?
It is a daunting start to this wildfire season, you're right, just as far as how early, how intense, and how many hectares we've already seen burn. And you're right, we're just turning the page on June 1st. You mentioned the hot and dry May. We were well above average for temperatures across most of the province and well below seasonal on rainfall. And then looking ahead to the long range forecast, you're right, we often get these Alaska low pressure systems move down across BC in the month of June. We actually saw it last year. May and June was cooler and wetter than normal. They kind of hang out, bringing in showers, reducing that fire risk for June, giving us a little bit of a break before we head into our typically hot and dry months of July and August. That is not likely to happen this year. Looking at some of the medium range forecasts, we've got a high pressure building as we speak. This is the start of our latest long dry stretch that will last 10 plus days. And then our climate models indicating that this will likely continue through June, through the summer and into early fall, Anita, because of El Nino. We've had El Nino the past couple of summers. That typically means hot and dry for us. This one is exceptionally strong, and that usually means hot and dry for us. So all of these factors lining up in what seems like it could be the latest historic wildfire season.
So keeping all that in mind, can you talk about what you and other weather forecasters look at? What kind of tools you use in trying to figure all this out for the long term?
Yeah, great question. And we have some amazing wildfire forecasters in this province who are always sharing information, and things are changing with climate change. You know, we typically, when we're looking at fire forecasting for an active fire situation for the next couple of days, we're really looking at temperatures, relative humidity, wind, and precipitation. Generally, I look at what's called the 30-30-30 rule. So if temperatures are over 30 degrees, relative humidity under 30%, and winds gusting over 30 kilometers per hour, we can expect runaway wildfire conditions. It just means that current wildfires are hard to get under control, and we are looking at that setup over the next couple of weeks. But long term, when we produce these seasonal forecasts, we're looking at things like amount of moisture in the soil, amount of snow in our snowpacks, what happened the season before. A lot of our fires are now burning through the winter season underground. So many more factors than just the weather conditions go into our seasonal forecast.
Yeah, because snowpack used to actually be a big indicator in terms of fire season, right? And that's just not the case now?
Yeah, I've been talking to some of our wildfire experts across the province, and traditionally there was a correlation between a seasonal or above seasonal snowpack in our winter months and sort of the slow release of that through our spring months, which would mean our soils and vegetation stays wetter. There was a correlation between snowpack and a lower wildfire season. But talking to these experts, we're not seeing that correlation anymore, just because climate change in our province has meant things are shifting so dramatically. So this year we had an average to above average snowpack across the province. We're still dealing with that spring freshet, but that's almost not a factor anymore, because things can just dry up and turn on a dime so quickly, and that's a trend that will continue to grow.
And we should say, just because there are maybe going to be more wildfires, perhaps more forest burning in our province, it doesn't necessarily mean that homes are going to be threatened. It really depends on where these fires are, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If we don't have interface fires, these fires that are running up against communities, we can see hectares burn above average, but we're not getting the impact to communities. So it really depends. It's like thunderstorms. Where they pop up will make all the difference. That being said, I know most of the province has had to deal with exceptionally poor air quality the past couple of summers. Even here in Metro Vancouver, that's become our new normal in such a short time. There is no smoke option in the future, no matter what our wildfire season looks like. With the amount of prescribed burning we have to do, and the chances of an above average season, smoke is going to be an issue.
So is there anything that could actually change this forecast?
Weather day to day and short range weather still plays a big role. We still need that trigger, and human started fires actually have been a big concern this year in particular across the country, and that doesn't mean purposeful. That can just mean sparks from vehicles, but it's basically that or lightning. And so we do have the ability to see these fronts move through our province a couple days in advance. We know we're going to get a big wildfire situation. That's when we can ramp up resources before one of these big outbreaks. And hopefully, even though the next couple of weeks looks hot and dry, there's still a chance we could get one of these low pressure systems towards the end of June. That would make all the difference in just giving resources a bit of a break, giving vegetation a bit of moisture. So again, it's going to be watching the weather systems basically week by week through the summer.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure. And a reminder, because we also know that a lot of the fires so far this year and every year are human caused. So people can actually make a big difference in terms of preventing some of these fires as well.
So true. And there was a lot of advancement last year in reporting those fires. And I think that, BC Wildfire will be looking for community members and individuals to stay vigilant this summer.
Meteorologist Johanna Wagstaffe is live with us. We are in downtown Vancouver talking about the wildfire season. Thanks so much for joining us. And
Thanks.
you too.
Thanks, Anita.